Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. It's my pleasure, my privilege, and my enjoyment to be in your presence and have this opportunity to share with you lessons and insights and inspirations of a lifetime that has gone past 83 years. In fact, this May, it'll be 84 years. And what a journey it's been. And it's been a great privilege to share that journey with you, my insights, all intended to uplift you and your loved ones for the rest of your lives. That's truly my intention. I've been licensed to practice clinical psychology in the state of California since 1974, but altogether, I've been in the profession of psychology for over 50 years. So as I like to say to people, I'm 83 years old and I finally know what I'm doing. That's the good news. And when I'm 84 years old, I'm 84 years old, I finally know what I'm doing. So it's an ongoing process. It's an evolving, growing, organic process. The title of today's presentation is The 4 Reminders of Honor. The 4 Reminders of Honor. Now, one time they were called power thoughts. You might find some of my old videos or old writings. That's what they were called, power thoughts. Then I put it into a system of honor. Sometime maybe 10 to 12 years ago around there, I started realizing this is really a way of honor. Now, but then rather than calling them commandments, in some situations, we would call them the principles. Particularly, we try to bring it into the school systems or athletics. We call them the 4 principles of honor. But also, we've called them, and you've heard me say this at times, the 4 commands of honor, or commanding the honor within ourselves to rise into consciousness and expressed in thoughts, words, and actions. But the best description, it took me 50 years to really nail it, the 4 reminders of honor, because you're just reminding yourself of what you already know. The 4 commands of honor, which we're now calling the 4 reminders of honor, are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. And then one of 2 depends whether you believe in God or not. If you believe in God as I do, it's God. Your wish is my only wish. If you don't believe or want to address God, it's I seek always to serve my highest values. So the 4 reminders of honor, because I've been instructing everybody to say 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night. Morning, afternoon, and night. Why did I ask everyone to tell everyone I want you to do 3 times a day? Because repetition is preparation for application to achieve stabilization. This will stabilize you. Now, for this to really work for you really well, and it always does. Everyone tells me how much benefits they're getting in terms of wisdom, resiliency, dealing better with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, relationships, love, happiness. We have one study, the improvements in 23 dimensions based on honor therapy. Honor therapy. So that's why you're going to repeat 3 times a day for life. As soon as you stop using it, you'll lose all the benefits. You will lose all the benefits. Again, the repetition is preparation for application to achieve stabilization. So we have a pledge that I have people take, but even without the pledge, I'm always instructing my people, you want to do this all your life, and everybody's just saying, I will do it all my life. The pledge goes like this. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself for all the days of my life to the 4 commands of honor, or we're calling now the 4 reminders of honor. And I'll teach them to those I love. I'll recite them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll listen to myself recite them. There you have it. Lifetime commitment, morning, afternoon, and night. And I tell my patients, when you're not my patient anymore, when you're not seeing, when you're seeing nurse practitioner Bert, when you're not seeing nurse practitioner Bert, when you're not with us as active as a patient, you don't want to stop doing it because you don't want to lose all that you've gained. Many people come back years later, and I'll say, did you keep up with it? And some do, but a lot don't. And I say, well, did you benefit when you were using it? Yes, I did. Why did you stop? Well, life happens. I got busy. I had a job. It's working. It's tired out. I say to him, come on, that's no excuse. It takes 8 seconds to say these. You could be taking a shower. You could be sitting on the toilet. You could be driving. You don't have to go somewhere to do it. You do it anywhere, anytime. There is no excuse for not doing it. Unless you, so if you're not, I have to say, well, I guess you don't care that much about yourself. A lot of people have to hit bottom before they really will start taking good care of themselves. It turns out, and this will sound strange, death is more motivating than life. Death is more motivating than life. Absolutely. If you look at it, even look at health. Somebody's smoking, and I know people like this. Smoking, they know it's not good for them. They don't care. They enjoy it. They say, well, someday I'll stop. They just keep smoking. And I know people have heart attacks and cancer. Boom! Guess what? They stop smoking. Bam! No problem. Death is more motivating than life. Unfortunately, it's true. But if you're smart, you won't have to come to the edge that way. Apply this. It's good for your mental health, which in turn is good for your physical health and your longevity and your vitality. This is very healthy. Words are medicine. Nurse practitioner Bert and I did a study with about 240 people approximately, and we found that if we say to people, the goal of your therapy is for you to come back much stronger than ever, and I'm totally committed to helping you come back much stronger than ever. We tell that to every one of our people, every one of you. And then we found, well, did that increase your hope and your optimism? 70-80% said yes. Maybe it's even higher than 80%. There you have it. I think you understand what I'm saying. Death is more motivating than life. I always knew I've known for many, many, many years what healthy eating was, but I was eating a lot. I wanted to just get big and strong. I became a world champion powerlifter. I was extremely strong. Wasn't healthy. Went into a heart attack at 61, prostate cancer 65. And then I was motivated. I said, okay, now the goal is staying alive. And I eat 99% clean all the time. Beans, greens, and berries, salmon, garlic, onions. The best foods. But I had to face my death till I really cleaned it up 100%, or 99% anyway. I had to face death to bring it to that. So I'm hoping for you that you're a lot smarter than I've been, and you have to wait till you get really down again to make sure you're keeping up with something that you can do anytime, anywhere. Then we have the bridge, which ensures and helps increase the probability that you're going to apply the commands of honor or the reminders in any situation. The bridge is this. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So you do your 4 commands of honor, you repeat that, and then any situation you're in, you then ask that question. Well, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So honor becomes the gold standard for everything in your life. We're no longer in this path seeking happiness, we're seeking honor, which turns out to be the foundation of true happiness. So there you have it. reminding yourself all day long, look, I know, listen, I'm on this earth at the same time with you. I've got a family, a house, cars, got bills to pay, medical issues for myself and my loved ones, just like you do. And I know you can get caught up in that. Understandably so. That's normal. But we're talking 8 seconds. A lot of times I'll do it when I get in the car and I'm backing out of the driveway. You know, when I drive home after this, I'll be doing it again. And I've done it in the middle of the day. Sometimes just to make sure I get 3, and I'll do it twice in the morning and at the end of the day. I make sure I get at least 3. I'm always ready to apply this. Always. Because repetition is preparation for what? Application. To achieve stabilization. It will stabilize you. And you're going to have times in your life you're not going to be feeling that stable. That's inevitable. That's life. But this will help stabilize you. It's a path of no regrets. It's a path that will lead you to releasing your greatest potential as a human being. I very rarely say anything or do anything that will hurt another person. Because I might feel hurt, I might feel angry inside at times, but I don't take it out on anybody. I work it through. I look at, did I co-create that? Generally I have. Take responsibility for my part, because blaming will kill you, destroy you. If you violate these commands of Arnold, let's say you get into blaming, oh, I'm a victim, this person did that and the other thing, blah, blah, you go on. And maybe they did do something bad. But if you just stick with that and you don't look into how you co-created it, if you just feel totally a victim, which is very rare, 99.9% of the time we co-create it. So it's part of those 99.9% of the time, you're getting angry, you've co-created it. The other person might have been wrong, they might have started the problem, but you're co-creating, you've added fuel to the fire. Once you go into that anger, that resentment, 5 to 10 seconds, you ain't coming out for a long time. Hours, days, months, years. You ain't coming out. Once you go down that wormhole, oh no. I know. Not just because I'm a psychologist. I spent a lot of my younger years in those holes, just like you have. A lot of my life. Like my father said to me, son, I have a lot of good advice to give you, not because I've been so smart, just I've been so stupid. So learn from my stupidity if you can. Do these commands or these reminders. Remind yourself 3 times a day. The 4 reminders of honor. And do your bridge. And commit to doing it for all of your life. And then, of course, you want to teach it to your loved ones. Why wouldn't you? I know it's helping you. Why wouldn't you teach it to your children, your nieces, your nephews, your parents? You're not trying to push a religion down their throats. You're saying, here's what I'm following, what's helping me. They want to follow, fine. They don't want to follow, fine. But you need to offer it. And the more you offer it to other people, the more committed you are to it. The more part of you it becomes. Let's look at them each. Look, I wish you well. That's a beautiful thing to do. It doesn't mean you hope the person wins the lottery. It means you hope that they turn to honor or repent. It might mean you hope they win the lottery, but it might mean they just hope they repent and turn to honor. Sometimes you're so resentful, so upset, you can't say, I wish you well. In your own thoughts, you can't even think that. So you can say, I want to wish you well. That's a good start. I want to wish you well. You deserve that benefit. You might think the other person doesn't deserve it. Maybe so. But you do. You deserve it. You deserve the peace of mind to be a well-wisher. It may not make the resentment go away completely, but it's like shining a little bit of light into the darkness of your resentment, your anger, your desire for revenge. That's dark. Put a little bit of light in there. I wish you well. Doesn't cost you anything. It'll save you a lot of aggravation and may prevent a heart attack. Because if you stay angry, we know that you're at higher risk for cardiovascular events such as heart attacks, strokes. This is good for your health. So the person may not deserve your well-wishing, but you deserve to be a well-wisher. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I see, well, I did co-create it. I apologize, I've co-created this. You know the person started, they were wrong, but you got into it, it started getting really nasty. Hey, wait a minute. I apologize for adding to this problem. You have to put honor before pride. Pride will stop you. Honor before pride. I tell everybody, pride is a cold lover. Pride is a very cold lover. You can't snuggle up at night with your pride. So you want to get past that so you can be with your significant other and have that love flow again. Fact. So you can, if you wish, you can apologize for how you co-created it. I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. Guess what? You're not going to get out of this life without hardship. Absolute fact of life. I'm sure you already had plenty, and there's more to come. So you might as well make the best of a bad situation. It is what it is. But you know you're going to gain power from it. In what way? You'll achieve wisdom, compassion. Without suffering, you cannot possibly achieve wisdom. So that's a gift to you. Your suffering is a gift. Whether it's emotional, medical, legal, occupational, it's a gift. And when you're in it, through the hardship, you know you're going to gain the wisdom and compassion. Look at the suffering you've had in your lives. I know for a fact that you can look back and say, well, I went through that, but you know what? I'm a better man for it. I'm a better woman for it. I know that. My life, I can tell you so many stories about all of that. Because one of the derivatives is this: what's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? And there is one. Whatever bad thing is happening, whatever bad aspect, painful, and that's true. That's only half the story. The other half is you made a gain. So you want to do it 3 times a day. So you're in the middle of it, you're in the middle of hurting, you're in the middle of suffering. You say, this is rough. And I'm grateful for the power I'm going to gain from this. Because through your suffering, you can have compassion for others who suffer. I have so much compassion for all of you. I've been through so much myself, a lot in my life. And I've talked about it in many videos, many suffering. Made me a better man and more able to understand what you go through. So I can understand you, give you compassion. I can do that for you, for my children, for whomever. Now I'm going to tell you one of the greatest tragedies of life. You ready for this? I'm going to tell you one of the greatest tragedies of life. And that tragedy is this: to know the truth that will set you free and not be able to live it. To know the truth that will set you free and not to live that truth. A great tragedy. And why is it we don't live the truth that could set us free? Free from suffering, free from the darkness, free from our inner tribulation. Why can't we? Because we forget. We forget. you forget. I forget. That's why we have the 4 reminders of honor, because they remind us morning, afternoon, and night, so we don't forget, so we can live these truths, these 4 truths, the 4 truths of honor, the 4 reminders of honor. Again, the repetition is preparation for application to achieve stabilization. That's what we want to be doing. Then we can live the truth that will set us free. Knowing the truth is not enough. Never was. Reminding of ourselves daily, 3 times a day, now you've got it. Make my point. New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. New Year's resolutions are famous for being dropped pretty quickly. A week, a month, 2 months, it's gone. We didn't remind ourselves of it. Got busy, forgot about it. So that's why with these 4 basic truths of life, you remind yourself, these 4 reminders of honor. And you know these things. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You know all these four reminders. You know them. You know it's consistent with every religion, whether you're talking about Baha'i, Christianity, Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, Jewish, Zoroastrian, Hindu. Doesn't matter what religion we're talking about. Whatever religion you consider yourself to be a member of, it's consistent with your teachings. It doesn't violate anybody's religion, not at all. That's a fact. There's no religion or spiritual path that says, wish people evil, unless you're Satan worshiper, maybe then. I'm not even sure. I don't even know what their teachings are. But I'm talking about any major religion, any major spiritual path. None of them say, wish evil upon other people. All teach to wish them well. Same with all the 4 reminders, all consistent with every religion. Just blaming people instead of taking responsibility. They say, why are you pointing out to the cinder in your neighbor's eye when you take the mote out of your own eye? Accursed would you be? All religions talk about you're cursed if you just blame and focus on other people's faults and you don't see what you need to improve in yourself. Universal. Consistent, I don't care what the religion is, what the spiritual path is, what any sect of Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, if you're a Baha'i, a Hindu, doesn't matter what little variation you have in your belief in the religion, doesn't matter. It still has that teaching. All 4 of the 4 commands of honor, what I'm also calling the 4 reminders of honor, totally consistent. 100%, not 99%, 100%. I've had so many people tell me it's made them a better Christian, a better Catholic, a better Jew, better Baha'i, a better Muslim. Everybody says to me it made them better, brought them closer to God. That's a fact. We have a study. I think it was about 72% of the people said I brought them closer to God following this path of honor. It's a lot. God, or whatever their higher power is, however they conceptualize their divine nature. Well, this is basically a good outline for the 4 reminders of honor. And I'm going to open up to our wonderful people who are here, lovely, beautiful human beings. And I want you all to speak up, because what you have to say is more important for most people than what I had to say. People love to hear from each other. They love it. They said, I feel that I belong to such a great community. The highlight of the week for many people is hearing what each has to say at these Tuesday night presentations. So I want you now, and I know some of you feel shy. Doesn't matter. Be shy, but speak up.
Doctor,
Yeah, Hugh.
in a traumatic situation, remind yourself of the bridge.
Yeah, Hugh's saying in a traumatic situation, remind yourself of the bridge. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? It is what it is. It's traumatic. It's difficult. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? That's doable. You can live an honorable life. You can do it. This is humanly achievable. Because I'm not saying you shouldn't get negative thoughts and feelings. No, that's human. But you didn't choose that negativity, did you? So you're not responsible for your negative feelings. But you are responsible to balance it with a constructive, honorable thought. You are responsible. That is your responsibility. Now that you have the knowledge. Without the knowledge, you're not. But now you have the knowledge. Two types of thoughts. The ones that pop into your mind but do not define who you are. It's based on your family upbringing, societal norms, genetics. But then there's a whole group of thoughts that you choose. Right now, I'm going to illustrate that. Right now, I want you to have this thought 3 times. Have this thought 3 times. I wish you well. Go ahead and do that, please. Now, I know something about all of you. You did it rapidly, naturally, easily. If you ask a 6-year-old to do it, the 6-year-old can do it. You chose your thought. I wish you well. You chose to do it 3 times, and you did it 3 times. What a power. What a power you have. Every human has that power. The only species that has that. Other species have emotions, feelings, problem-solving, stimulus response, but only we can choose the thought we want to have. So I've given you 4 thoughts at a bridge, which is 5 thoughts, to repeat 3 times a day. You could do it. Because I know every one of you here is a human being. So you can do it. Some of you are brilliant and some of you are less brilliant. Doesn't matter. Everyone could do it. And I want you to memorize them. It's best to memorize it. So wherever you are, you can be doing it. You could teach it if you so choose in a situation. Hugh, thank you for that good question. He always has such good comments and questions. Now I'm opening up to the rest of you. Somebody wanted to say something earlier when I was speaking. Please speak up.
I appreciate you guys discussing I wish you well, because in some cases it may take time to be able to wish someone well, but an attempt to put a positive in a negative is a good thing.
What is your name, please?
Christopher Coletti.
Oh, Christopher. Beautiful point, Christopher. You know, if you're doing it 3 times a day, it won't take you that long. If you're not, it could take weeks, months, years to do it. But when you do it 3 times a day, it's ready to go. I'm not saying you have to feel it, I wish you well. Forget about feelings. I'm just saying you're repeating it. And that is shining a light into your darkness. Saying it, because that's what you're choosing to do with the resentment, to wish the person well. I'm not saying let people walk on you. Oh, no, 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 no. You put your boundaries up. Say, hey, I'm talking to you respectfully. I appreciate if you talk to me respectfully. Oh, no, we're not. Pushovers, no. But we're still wishing them well, whatever we have to do. Absolutely. Glad you said that, Christopher. It won't take long if you're doing it 3 times a day. Why? Repetition is preparation for application to achieve stabilization. Now, it won't take long. If you don't do it 3 times a day, you're right. It will take very long. Good point. Excellent. Excellent. Let's hear from other people now so all of you can benefit from each other.
Hi, Dr. Nerenberg. This is Trisha Fuentes.
Trisha, it's a pleasure to hear from you, Trisha.
Hi. I wanted to ask you if you have any advice for myself or others on here, that how do you explain to your family what you're going through so that you can get support from them?
Well, explaining to your family, it can be done. Some families are more open with each other than others. And you can always say, hey, I'm a human being like anybody else. I'm hurting pretty badly because of X, Y, and Z, and can use some support, whatever you want to do. I'll be grateful. I love you. I know you love me. I'm needy right now. That's human. No human being escapes that reality. Nobody. I don't care what they look like, how they carry themselves. No, that's normal. That's a normal conversation, by the way. But very few people have that normal conversation. It's normal. That's what normal human beings would be doing, as rare as it is. Good question. Thank you, Tricia.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Dr. Nerenberg.
Yes, who is this?
This is Tracy.
Oh, Tracy.
Yeah.
Do you have a cold or something? Your voice is different.
Amazing to hear your voice and your wisdom. And I just want to say that, your 4 points of honor, I did have them hanging by my toilet.
It's a good place, by the way. Good place for that in the mirror.
Multiple times a day. So it was easy for me to reinforce these amazing principles. And I feel like I wish you well is something that it's a gift, I think, to all of us as humans to let any kind of ill feelings we have towards others go, because they just weigh us down. So I wish you well is a gift that I give to myself.
Perfectly said. It's a gift to yourself. Absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And then I do believe that my problems have made me stronger. I mean, I'm a 64-year-old woman who has been through a lot. And thank goodness, because if it wasn't for what I've been through, I wouldn't be this amazing person that I am.
I love it the way you say that. Yes,
amazing.
I know you are. I'm the first to agree with you.
And also, I want to say that I felt like forever, my career was to facilitate other people doing good work in the world. And so I've always been somebody that wanted to be a source for goodness and for, good things and light in the world.
Well,
always,
Tracy,
always.
I've always looked at you as a light. Whenever I've talked with you, you'll be all illuminated. You just emanate that light, and I believe that's how you live, emanating that light. I know that about you. Absolutely so.
It's all true, but you know what I have to say to you and to Brett, if he's listening, the fact that you guys were affirmed me throughout my therapy with you was just such a source of strength for me. You guys were the well I went to. But I do have a question for you, Doctor.
Good, thank you.
The one thing that I do have that is hard for me is I take full responsibility for co-creating the challenges and problems in my life, because I have my work situation, which I think now has just it's a process and it's a journey, and I'm feeling okay and empowered by that. But I have some other things in my life where I have a harder time accepting that I am an equal co-creator.
Okay, good. Okay, now let's now. There's no way of saying you're an equal co-creator. It might be 95% them and 5% you.
Oh.
So I'm adding to the problem this way. I mean, they've done 95%, and I take responsibility for what I'm doing with it. You can apologize if you want or not, but you say, well, I'm co-creating this, and I don't have to keep co-creating. I'm going to unco-create it, what I'm doing with it. And but yeah, I didn't say equal. Don't know. Could be 1%, 5%. Generally, it's more than that. But there are times when we're a small percentage, but we're definitely doing. And you want to find that percentage. You want to find it.
Yeah.
Look at it, because that's going to help you. It's going to help empower you, and it'll cut down some of the blaming, some of your own negativity. Some of your own negativity will be cut down.
Yeah. Well, Doctor, thank you for that, because I guess I always did look at it as being, a co-creator. Like, when my husband was live, we were co-partners, right? Like it was, we were equally responsible for each other, and we co-parented, and we co-paid a mortgage.
Well, listen, the word co-creating is powerful because if somebody slaps us in the face, we could say, well, it's we're a victim. I mean, maybe 0% we co-create, or somebody a drive-by shoots us, then we're 100% a victim, not a co-creator. But for most of us on an everyday basis, it's 99.9% we're co-creators to some extent. Excellent point. I'm so glad you brought that up, Tracy.
Thank you for that, because it just gives me makes it feel like in that one, element, I'm not really failing. I'm still trying to work and improve, but I'm not failing.
Well, that's the key thing.
You,
when you take that responsibility, do not beat yourself up about it. Do not beat yourself up.
Be
gentle with yourself. Yeah, I did co-create it. I'm human. I forgive myself. I wish myself well. And I'm going to help correct this situation I'm co-creating. Do not beat yourself up. I don't want you feeling guilty beating yourself up doing this. I'm doing this for you to be empowered as you should be. Exactly. Very good. You bring out Tracy, I'm so glad you spoke up.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you for everything.
You're most welcome.
If you're overwhelmed with negativity, what should you remind yourself?
Well, the question that Hugh said, if you're overwhelmed with negativity, what should you remind yourself? Well, I seek always to serve my highest values, or if you believe in God, God, your wish is my only wish. So you're getting all this negativity, this terrible thing could happen, that terrible thing could happen. So once you go, for instance, God, your wish is my only wish. So God, if you want this terrible thing to happen to me, I want it to happen. If you don't want it to happen to me, I don't want it to happen to me. And Lord, if you have no preference, I prefer it not happen to me. So that's a good one to use. I seek always to serve my highest values, or God, your wish is my only wish. When you're feeling totally overwhelmed and submitting to the will of God, that's universal in all religions. Absolutely. Submitting to that higher power, to the divine nature. That's what you want to do when you're overwhelmed with negativity. Or you could also be saying, I'm grateful for the power I gained from watching. This is so hard on me. I'm suffering. It's so negative. But all this is going to make me stronger, wiser, more compassionate. I had a lot of negativity all my life. And that'll help me understand the negativity you go through. I don't live in those dark caves for many years now. I don't.
Hey, Dr. Nerenberg.
Yes.
It's Joanne.
Who is this?
It's Joanne.
Oh, Joanne. Yes. Good to hear from you again, Joanne. Good.
I've been like reciting the four.
Well, commands of honor, but we're calling the four
Yes,
reminders.
exactly.
The four reminders
I
of
wish
honor.
you
Yes.
well.
Yes.
I am grateful for the power that I've gained from my hardship and stuff. And I just wanted to let you know that I've been reciting them like every day, 3 times a day, and they really do work. They really do work. When I've gotten like down on myself and stuff, I start reciting the 4 commandments, and they really do make me stronger. And I just wanted to thank you.
Joanne,
I really wanted to thank you.
Well, you're
so
most
much.
welcome, dear Joanne, and I thank you for.
No, I thank you because my Jerry, my husband, who died. His birthday is like 2 days away, and it's really has given me strength. And I just thank you so much.
You're most welcome. How long ago did he pass?
Passed 4 years ago.
4 years ago. What did he pass from?
A blood clot to his lung.
Yeah. So it was a fast death.
They literally didn't do anything for him until he got to the emergency room because it was like
Let me ask you this. What was it?
Oh, he has COVID. I'm like, no, he doesn't have COVID.
Let me ask you. Did he had a fast death?
Huh?
He had a fast death?
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Well, see,
Thank
fast
God.
death is a good death. My father was driving along with my mother in the car. They had breakfast. And he said, Ann, my mother's name is Ann. He said, I'm just not feeling well. Boom, he was gone. And my mother
My
thought he was
sister's
joking.
name is Ann.
My
Yeah.
my mother said, Sam, stop joking. My father's name was Sam. Stop joking. He was driving the car. So my mother hit the brakes, steered so it doesn't crash. And he had passed. It was a good death. It was early. He was only 64. But here's the thing. And you know this, Joanne. He's still with you. He's
my
with you.
husband literally knew you. He knew you so well.
Wow.
Because our kids went to school together. So.
Oh, Joanne, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And I knew you when you were, I'm answering, you were my part of the answering service. Yeah. Wow. Well, listen, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I know that you know he's with you. You probably
Yeah.
feel him with you. Is that correct?
I feel him too.
Yeah. And you should talk to him, tell him that you love him and appreciate him. And you'll feel something. I'm not saying you can hear a voice speak to you, whatever, but you'll get a feeling, a light or a feel will come to you. And then pray for him. And the more you communicate and pray for the progress of his soul, the better it is. When we grieve too much, it retards the progress of the soul. It's grieving a little, somewhat, but then we'll just stay in touch. We wish them well. We express our love and how grateful we were that we got to know that person all those years. And I do that with my parents, my sister, my grandparents, friends, relatives. I do this every night. I do this. And it's very powerful, powerful connection. In fact, I've got very close that way to one of my grandfathers that I never met. He died before I was born, but I feel a strong connection with him from doing this. So, yeah, keep talking to him. Tell him how much you love him and appreciate him. He's there, and I'm sure he has or will be coming to your dreams, and that's real. They really come to visit us.
I appreciate you so much, Dr. Nerenberg.
You're most welcome, Joanne. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, doctor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Hugh?
Tell her I understand what she's going through. Anniversaries, birthdays, all are very difficult.
Yeah, Hugh was saying his wife passed about a year ago, almost to the day. And he said the anniversaries, birthdays, very, very difficult for him. And she had a long period of being disabled. Of course, turns out she was happier during a disability than before, oddly enough. It was a pretty great smile. She had a stroke, so she couldn't say much. But when she would say yes, you say something, go, yes. And she had so many different ways of saying yes. And it would just light you up. It was like, yes. Boy, nobody said yes the way Cheryl said yes.
My birthday is tomorrow, so I
tomorrow.
God bless him.
Yes, and then hers was just a few days ago, Cheryl's. Yeah, so he understands. Hugh understands exactly what you're going through. And I had a cousin that just died recently, within the last week, from breast cancer, and my cousin is missing her terribly, very, very terribly. But that's the normal part. But also rejoicing, if you believe we're eternal souls, you're rejoicing that person is doing better than we are here, but we miss them. Just like what Joanne touched, I'm sure, many people. And when people look back on this, they're going to be very moved, and they'll feel, well, they understand something about it because they heard Joanne talk about her loss in life. So I want to invite you to speak up.
Dr. Nerenberg, it's Lisa.
Lisa, very good to hear from you, Lisa.
I just want to thank you for what you just said earlier about instead of being able to wish somebody well, just being able to say, I want to wish you well is a start. And I really felt that today. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome. I could hear that you're choked with some emotion, some tears there. Sometimes people just can't do, I wish you well. So yeah, a very good point. I want to wish you well. That still will shine some light into your darkness. Exactly so.
Yes.
Because the resentment can get so severe or so fresh that sometimes you just can't do it. So I want to wish you well. And that's a beautiful thing, too. That will put that little bit of light into your darkness. Well said, Lisa, as always. Such a beautiful human being.
Thank you, Dr. Nerenberg.
You're most welcome.
Lord, help me get to the point where I can wish you well.
Yeah, so he was saying, Lord, help me get to the point where I can wish you well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to wish you well. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. We'll hear from one or two more people.
Hi, Dr. Nerenberg. This is Mercy Jaroge. How are you?
Good. Tell me your name again, please.
Mercy.
Oh, Mercy. Welcome, Mercy.
Yeah. Thank you for the talk. It's really encouraging. Exactly what you think. What is the most honorable thing to say and do when you want to say something that's not nice to the other person? It stops me in my tracks, and I have to think, what do I want to say? What's the most honorable thing that I can say? So I'm a disciple. I'm on a journey, and I'm learning a lot. And I want to thank you very much for all that you're doing, making me a better person, and listening to the other people helps me also on this journey.
Beautifully said. Mercy, what a beautiful name, Mercy. And when you ask that question, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? You're giving a mercy to yourself by not infecting yourself with more negativity, and you're showing mercy to the other person because you're not just spitting out all kinds of negativity to them. So your name's the perfect name for the path you're following. It's a path of mercy. Wow, what a perfect fit for you. Beautiful name, beautiful person, beautiful path you're on, Mercy.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely. Yes.
I'm hearing a lot of pain in the people tonight.
Hugh's saying he's hearing a lot of pain in the people. So our people are suffering. They're normal. You're all normal human beings, and you're going to suffer. I've had to suffer. Will again. Nobody gets out of this life without suffering, unless you die very early in life. But even then, you'll have suffered. No one escapes it. It's one of the gifts to help us in our growth. One of the ones derivatives I personally use, God, I'm extremely grateful for the gift of trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. That's a derivative of one of the four reminders, one of the four commands of honor. Well, at this point, it's been my pleasure, my privilege to be in your presence and to hope that you're going to take this knowledge with you for all of your life and to share it with your loved ones. I want to thank you sincerely for being with me, for having this time together while we're all here.
The sea of destiny is in your deepest struggle. God's will and mine be one, and I wish you well. You are co-creator, respectfully real. There's a way in the valley that turns weakness to steel. We're known through all eternity. From strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow. I pledge my love all the days of my life. I pledge my soul to all that is good. I pledge my heart to my brothers and sisters who I join in the light, leave a legacy of honor. We're known through all eternity. From strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow.